Hello, it's Game Slayer here. Today we have to do is the MSA usually streaming. It's just how the story is gonna take. But I just wanna make this quickly so we can make some other videos we are watching. It's a lot of things we love watching too, but I just don't want to spoil the ending of the video. But we're gonna react this video we're gonna react to is I became friends with Rostars. So we got to just talk about it, and this is just something she doesn't know how to do. Well, let's watch the video.
Hi, I'm Soleil from Monterey Bay, and my life was a nightmare until I turned 15. Before I continue, please like and subscribe to 4Eve. I was born with a condition called macrodontia. That meant my teeth were much larger than normal size. It wasn't a big deal, but people were giving me a hard time for it. Like one time in 4th grade, I was waiting in line for picture day, when my teacher, Mrs. Smith, pulled me aside. "Sweetie, I need you to keep your mouth closed for the picture. No smiling, okay? You don't want me showing my teeth, do you? It's just that. You're such a pretty girl and your teeth just may be a bit distracting for the picture. It's not my fault you think my teeth are distracting. I have a condition, you witch." Maybe I shouldn't have called Mrs. Smith a witch. It landed me in double detention. But luckily, I told my parents everything that had happened, and they were furious. They got my teacher fired for discrimination against a kid, and I felt pretty pleased with myself. Though, unfortunately, kids at school started making fun of my teeth after the picture day incident. I ignored them most of the time, but sometimes I just wanted to slap their dumb faces. The only thing that helped me through the day was singing after school in my room. It was my dream to become a singer, but I was way too shy to sing in public. Then one day, everything changed when a new girl came to our class. Her name was Lydia, and she was a famous child actress. I'd loved her movies ever since kindergarten. She was literally my idol. We were even paired as lab partners and instantly became friends. I told Lydia all about the bullying and my witch teacher, Mrs. Smith, and she was so sweet. "Those people are dumb. You're perfect just the way you are. Just stick by my side and none of the bullies will ever bother you again." Soon I found out Lydia was right. Whenever I was with her, the kids left me alone. I was untouchable. By the time Lydia and I were in 8th grade, we'd become besties. But when we got to high school, things got a little crazy. On our first day, kids started staring and whispering at us in the hallway.
Wow.
Within seconds, everyone pushed past me so they could take selfies with Lydia and ask for her autograph. This went on all morning, and by lunchtime, I decided to study in the library for some peace and quiet. Then suddenly, as I was walking to a table, I tripped over someone's shoe from behind. We both fell forward, and I landed on top of some girl. "Get off me, you jerk." "Jeez, I'm sorry, it was an accident." "Please, I know who you are. You're the new bodyguard of that teen actress Lydia. You think you're so important that you don't have to look where you're going." First of all, I don't think that at all. And second, I'm not Lydia's bodyguard. I'm her best friend. Well, she's telling everyone you're her new bodyguard. If I were you, I'd find out what that's about. The girl got up and stormed off. What was she talking about? I found out later the girl's name was Kara, and everyone was super creeped out by her. Part of it was because she wore black lipstick and dyed her hair white. The other reason was because she just sat in the library all day and never talked to anyone. So I probably shouldn't take anything she said seriously, right? But her comment about me being Lydia's bodyguard was just so weird. So I decided to confront Lydia about it. And when I did, she got really quiet. I have to tell you something. I have a stalker. He's some obsessed fan who's been sending me weird letters that he's gonna kidnap me and we're gonna get married. I don't even want to talk about it. I just really need a bodyguard. Whoa, I had no idea. But wouldn't it be better if you hired some big, tough adult? I mean, I can't fight a weirdo stalker. Soleil, you're my best friend. You're the only person I trust. I don't want some stranger following me around 24/7. Please, I need you to do this for me. Okay, don't worry. I want you to be safe, so I'll be your bodyguard. Lydia was really relieved, and I was glad I could protect her. But soon I discovered being her bodyguard was a living hell. Not only did I have to follow Lydia everywhere, I had to shoo away everyone who tried to talk to her. Lydia just didn't trust anyone, but her fans blamed me for it. I just wanted to know where Lydia bought her bracelet. I'm not trying to hurt her, you jerk. Then one day, things got really out of hand. I was walking Lydia down the hall when this muscular jock tried to shove me. Out of my way, Buckteeth. I want to talk to our local movie star, a.k.a. my future girlfriend. Lydia just looked at her phone, and I knew that meant she wasn't interested and didn't want to deal with him. Sorry, dude, but Lydia doesn't want to talk to you, and as her bodyguard, I'll have to ask you to leave. At that second, the guy grabbed my shoulder, and I had no idea what he was going to do. I turned to Lydia for help, but I didn't see her anywhere. Instead, some girl pinned the guy's arms behind his back. It was Kara. Leave her alone, psycho. My mom's a cop and can have you locked up, so you never see the light of day again. Kara let the guy go and he ran off. I was amazed that she, of all people, had defended me. Wow, Kara. I can't thank you enough for protecting me. I was so scared. Don't get used to it. I just felt bad for you because you're the bodyguard of that stuck-up princess. Notice how she just walked off while you almost got beaten up. Kara walked off and I realized her words...
Are you ready?
Kara walked off, and I realized her words made sense. Lydia had abandoned me, and worse, when I kept calling and texting her, she didn't answer. The same day at school, I saw Kara walking into the auditorium, which was empty. This girl was so mysterious. I followed her inside, and seeing her, my jaw dropped. She was playing the piano, and she was incredible. Holy crud, you're a pianist? I didn't mean to sneak up on you. Please don't punch me. But you're really good, dude. Ugh, you again. Yeah, I play the piano, but I'm not that good. I mean, I kinda am, but I could never play in front of other people. I totally get what you're saying. I've always wanted to be a singer, but I've never had the guts to sing in front of anyone. So why not sing something now? Come on, no one's here. And you've heard me play piano. It's only fair. I took a deep breath and started to sing something. And for the first time, I saw Kara smile. You're not bad at all, Soleil. You should try out for the spring showcase. If you do, maybe I'll accompany you. I felt my heart race. Was she serious? At that second, my phone rang, and it was Lydia. Girl, where have you been? I've been calling you all day. I am so sorry, but you have to come to the school parking lot. My stalker just showed up. Oh no. I panicked and hung up the phone. Then I ran out of the auditorium, totally forgetting about Kara. When I got to the parking lot, I stopped short when I saw Lydia kissing some guy. Lydia? What's going on? Where's the stalker? Oh, this is him. I decided in the end I like him, and he's cute. What? Why would you like someone who stalked you and made you feel unsafe? He didn't stalk me. He's just some guy who hit on me at the mall and I wasn't interested, so I thought he might stalk me, but I took his number anyway in case I wanted to give him a chance, and I did. Are you kidding me? Do you know how exhausted I've been being your bodyguard? Wow. Some guy even grabbed me and you left me to make out with some stranger? Well, I thought if I told you the full truth, you wouldn't be my bodyguard. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Having to talk to fans all the time and being a celebrity. You've never even had a real friend before me. It's fine, it's just you have no idea what I've gone through. What the heck? I was too angry to even answer her, so I just stormed off. I couldn't believe Lydia. Maybe it was tough being a celebrity, but did she have any idea what I had gone through? Being bullied my whole life and never having friends? I decided then and there I was done living in Lydia's shadow. I was trying out with Kara for the spring showcase. It was my turn to shine. So the next day, I auditioned with Kara and it went amazingly. The director was blown away by our talent and I had no idea what I'd been so scared of. We were in. Craziest of all the other performers were chosen and we got the last spot. But just as we were walking out of the auditorium, I saw Lydia sitting in the back row and her face was white with rage. How could you do that to me, Soleil? You knew I wanted to sing for the showcase. The directors aren't accepting any more performers now. You never told me you were auditioning. You don't even sing. Of course I sing. And no offense, but you're not meant to be a performer. You need a certain look, and you don't have it. I love you, but someone needs to break it to you. I felt myself boil with rage. Who was she to say I couldn't be a performer? Because of my teeth? Then suddenly, Kara whipped out her phone and held it in front of Lydia's face. A video started playing of a girl screeching. Remember at Grandpa's birthday party when we did karaoke? And you sang like a dying cat?
Damn.
Well, I filmed the video, and if you try to get in our way of performing, I'll post it online. You are so mean, Kara. And for your information, I sing way better now. And I'm not gonna let my bestie embarrass herself in front of everyone. With that, Lydia stomped off, and I was so confused. How did she and Kara know each other? And why did Kara say Grandpa? In case you're wondering, Lydia and I are cousins. You guys may be friends, but I'm the only one who knows she's a two-faced witch. What? You guys are cousins? No, wait. Look, I know Lydia can be a little selfish, but she's not a bad person. She totally saved my life in middle school. All the kids were teasing me because of my teeth, and she protected me. Lydia's the only one who's seen me for who I am as a person and not what I look like. Oh, babe, you are just too naive. Come with me and I'll show you what kind of person Lydia really is. Kara caught my full attention, and I followed her to Lydia's locker. I watched as Kara picked the lock and took out a worn-out journal. This is Lydia's diary. I like reading it for my own personal entertainment. I swear, if people knew how evil she really is, she wouldn't be famous. Look at all this stuff she says about people. I grabbed the diary from Kara, and to my horror, it was filled with nasty comments about every kid at school. And then I saw something that broke my heart. Lydia had cut out pictures of me and colored in my teeth with black marker.
Wow.
On the page, she'd written, I don't know how much longer I can pretend to be this freak's friend, but her loser status makes me feel so much better about myself. Before I could stop myself, I burst into tears. My whole friendship with Lydia had been a lie. Kara put her arm around me. I know it sucks, but at least you know the kind of person she is now. I'll help you get revenge. We'll crush her at the showcase. Thanks, Kara, but I think I just need to be alone right now. I went home and ditched the rest of my classes. I didn't come out of my bedroom for 2 days and refused to go to school. I was just so depressed and I felt like such an idiot. And then my mom came to my room with some news. Soleil, I know you're suffering right now, but I wanted to tell you something that for sure will cheer you up. What is it? Your dad and I finally saved up the money to get braces. We can finally... Finally fix your teeth. Why? Because I'm too ugly for you to look at?
Wow.
Of course not, sweetie. This has nothing to do with looks. It's just better for your jaw if we get this fixed. It'll be easier to brush your teeth and eat and take care of dental hygiene. Mom made a pretty good point. So that week, I let her take me to the orthodontist and I got braces. They were super uncomfortable, but I felt better knowing I was finally going to take care of my teeth. Then finally, when I was back at school, I spotted Lydia. I hadn't seen her since I'd read her diary, and when she saw me with braces, she freaked. OMG, are you crazy? I thought you were proud of how you looked. Yet you got braces, which means you obviously hate yourself. No, I love myself. That's why I got braces for my health. Also, congratulations. You don't have to pretend to be my friend anymore. I made new friends. Way better friends. With that, I walked away before she could answer. Kara was waiting for me by my locker. I couldn't believe I'd misjudged her. Maybe she was a freak like me, but she was amazing. That evening, Kara and I had our show and I was super nervous. We had to go back to school at 7 p.m. to get ready. When we got there, crowds of kids were already outside the building. That's when we saw a mob of kids in the courtyard gathered around Lydia, yelling at her. They were holding their phones in her face and saying things like two-faced and sicko. What was going on? That's when I saw Kara laughing in the corner. I posted the pages of Lydia's diary all over Instagram. Now everyone knows all the awful things she wrote about them. Whoa, Kara, I know she's a jerk, but isn't that kind of low? Not as low as faking being your best friend for years. And everyone deserves to know the truth about her. Trust me, Soleil. I still felt a little weird about it, but I knew deep down, Kara was right. As we walked on the stage later together, the audience cheered and whistled. Don't be afraid of the decisions you make, because life is all about making choices and learning from them.
Yeah, make choices and learning from them. That's true. That is very, very true. That is kindly true. Your dreams and it's kind of you. That's she is right though. She is technically right.
And please,
I just restored the video. I don't know I did that, but so we're gonna do we're gonna watch this video is a drawing my life as there's no tomorrow. So does that mean that she is drawing her life but there's no tomorrow for herself?
I'm gonna need this just for tonight.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Alright, Mom, see you later.
Yeah, she's right. That's guitar name, whatever you want to call him. But I'm not going to put it on the video because I'm not. So this video is about nothing else. Let's see what she's talking about because I don't understand.
massage settings.
What's wrong with my? So they want to skip this thing.
Hi, I'm Rose from upstate New York. Please like and subscribe. I grew up with my grandfather, who was the coolest person ever.
Wow.
He worked at a planetarium nearby, and often after school, I'd help him there. You see that star? You know, it isn't a star, but a planet. A planet? It's so shiny. Wow. Growing up, I loved everything about the stars, planets, and space. Pops and I would look at the stars from the big telescope. It was so fun. By the time I was 17, I was the brightest in my class and ready to graduate a year early. One time when I returned from school, I saw Pops talking to some construction workers, and he looked mad. What's happening? These people are trying to tear down the planetarium to build a mall here. No way! Not on my watch. This place was too close to my heart. My best childhood memories were about this place. Just then, I noticed a bulldozer driving toward the building, so I climbed up the huge oak tree in between, and people frantically yelled for the machines to stop. Yo, stop! There's a crazy girl up there. Rose, what are you doing? Get down from there. Nope. If they want to take this tree down, they'll have to do it with me on it. One of the workers called the boss, and exactly 30 minutes later, I saw a helicopter land. Several men in black suits jumped out, surrounding a handsome guy who didn't look much older than me. You, girl, what's the problem? Call me Rose, and the problem is that you need to ask your men to back off. This is our property. I bought this dump, so it's my property. So, you'll just destroy it because you own it? Over my cute body? Do you have any idea who I am? Does it look like I care? The guy stared at me, then smirked. You won't give up, will you? Nope. Fine. Come to the office tomorrow and we'll have a little chat. I'll think about it. Saying that, he left, and so did the workers. That was fast.
Wow.
Later that night, Pops told me the guy's name was Henry Hampton, and his parents owned half the city.
Wow.
I wasn't scared of him, even if he was the President of the United States. And the next morning when I reached his office, I was more than ready to let him know that. But the place was so big, I couldn't figure out which door to open. I accidentally entered the wrong room and found a boy my age playing the piano, but he sounded a bit off. Try working with an F minor. It's much smoother. Excuse me? I wanted to apologize for butting in, but before I could, a security guard came and escorted me to another office where Henry was waiting for me, and he looked so intimidating. Our meeting yesterday had me rethink the mall project, but on one condition. I want you to work as my assistant. What? Why? I've had many pretty assistants over the years. Now, I want a smart one. Did he just call me ugly? But I'm a space nerd. There really isn't much I can do here. Why don't we start you off at $4,000 a day and leave the rest to me? Okay, that was a lot. Henry stared at me, waiting for an answer. My gut screamed no. But what choice did I have? It was either this or lose the planetarium. And no way I was gonna let that happen. Ugh. Fine. The entire next week, I regretted my decision every second. Henry was mean, rude, and a total brat. He made me skip classes and called me at the oddest hours for work. If I refused, he made me number all the empty white sheets in the printer. What a nightmare. To top it all off, I was asked to help with all the new transfer students at school. And one of them caught my attention instantly. The piano guy. When he entered the class that day, girls couldn't stop staring at how handsome he was. I'm Rose. Noah, you work for my brother, right? You're Junior Hampton? Ding ding. And you're the brave girl I've heard so much about. Pleased to meet you. Noah was the complete opposite of Henry. He was kind and friendly, and we started hanging out every day. I complained to him about Henry all day long, and he didn't seem to disagree. He told me they were half-brothers and never got along. He's just jealous I'm the better-looking brother. One night, as Noah was playing his latest tune for me, Henry barged in looking mad. I lost an important deal because you mixed up the papers. I thought I was hiring a genius, but I was so wrong. I looked at him in shock, and he went ballistic on me. Hold up. I didn't ask you for this job. I'm tired, exhausted, and you're just so ungrateful. If you want me out, I'll leave, but I won't take your sour attitude. Henry looked crazy with rage, and before he could react, Noah jumped in. Easy, Henben. I'm sure we can work something out. Stay out of my business. Understood? Saying that, he stormed out of the room, and Noah turned to me. Thanks for standing up for me. I won't let him bully you, as he bullies me. Such a bozo. Just then, Noah came a bit closer, and my tummy did a wild spin. Do you want to maybe get dinner sometime? Like a date? Yeah. How does 8 p.m. tomorrow sound? Sounds perfect. I wanted my first date ever to be amazing. I bought a cute dress and did a little makeup too. But just an hour before I had to leave, Henry texted me to get his dry cleaning. Can it wait? Unless you want to fly to Korea to deliver it, I suggest you get going. Did he have a tracker on me that rang every time I was unhappy? I texted Noah that I'd be late and hurried to the shop. But on my way back, it started raining heavily and I got completely soaked. I slid my way into the house and saw Henry glaring at me. I missed my meeting thanks to you. I missed a date thanks to you. Achoo! He wrapped his jacket around me as I sneezed like a crazy person and asked one of his servants to take me to the guest room. When I came down, he was standing by the fireplace with a cup of cocoa. Drink this. You'll feel better.
Download the Domino's app today and become a piece of the pie rewards. Remember to earn points toward free pizza.
He can't.
Drink this. You'll feel better. You made this? Do you see anyone else around? Why was he suddenly being so nice to me? And why did that make me feel so good? So, about this boyfriend. Who is he? I don't have a boyfriend. And why do you want to know? Just wondering. Well, don't, because you're killing my chances of ever finding someone. Henry laughed, and he almost looked human. One heck of a good-looking human. What made you say that? I was all set to meet oh my god, Noah! I'd totally forgotten to tell him that I won't be able to make it. I reached for my phone, but it wasn't working, so I pulled one out of Henry's pocket and frantically dialed Noah. But he was already standing behind, looking like a raging bull. Well, well, look at that. Noah, I am so sorry. I totally Save it, Rose. It's not the first time Henry's had eyes on my girl. Henry looked at me in surprise. He was your date? Well, that's disappointing. Before I could say anything, Noah took the vase lying on the table next to him and flung it at Henry, who missed it by inches. That was totally uncalled for. Work on your aim, little guy. But Noah left without saying a word. When I turned to Henry, He was smiling. You're such a jerk. I stomped out of the house furious at Henry. For days after that, I tried to talk to Noah, but he continued to ignore me. One day, the teacher announced that I was chosen to represent my school at the annual quiz competition, and I got busy with my books. I was studying in Henry's office one night after finishing work when I completely lost track of time and snapped back to over 30 missed calls from Pops. As I rushed down the hall blindly, I missed a turn and bumped right into Henry. You're still here? I was just leaving. Now? It's late. Let me drop you back. Don't you want to change? Should I? I blushed and we walked to his car. We sat in the back seat, and minutes into the ride, I dozed off. I woke up to Henry brushing his hands over my cheeks, pushing a strand of hair away. His eyes were the most perfect combination of blue and green. Sorry. Don't be. I enjoyed your snoring. I don't snore. I must be really tired, I guess. You work too hard. Take the day off tomorrow. Why do you do this? What? Be nice one second and an absolute moron the next. Henry looked straight into the mirror before turning toward me with a stern look. Maybe that's just who I am. A boring moron. But you're nothing like I imagined. He leaned forward and I thought he was about to kiss me. I literally stopped breathing. When he took a bottle lying next to me, he totally did that on purpose. When I got back home, I felt my heart beating hard. This was wrong, but why did it feel so right? A week later in school, I was doing some last-minute preparations in the library when I got stuck on an annoying question. My concentration was all over the place. I could solve that in under 15 seconds. I almost screamed when I felt Noah's hand on my shoulder, and I was annoyed to see him. Now you want to talk to me? Give me that. He took the notebook out of my hand and started scribbling something, and got the answers right. How? I'm the lesser-known genius in the family. I am so sorry about the other day, Noah. Don't worry about it. Let's hang out for ice cream after school, and we can talk. Sure, I'd love that. Noah volunteered to help me with the quiz, and I agreed. We would study till late at night, and I would often catch him stealing glances at me. When the final day of the quiz arrived, I was more than prepared to get that trophy home. And I did, along with a massive cash prize, which was enough to put me through college. Thank you for helping me. I couldn't have done this without you. I would do anything for you, Rose. I like you, and I think we should give us another shot. He looked at me with so much hope, but I couldn't do it. I like you too, Noah, but not in the way that you want me to. It's never gonna work out between us. Because of Henry? What do you even see in him? Noah's words made me realize what I'd been hiding from all this while, but I was too stubborn to accept it. No, it's not him. I have to work hard for my future, and I can't afford distractions. Noah looked at me heartbreakingly and left. After that day, I realized the whole thing was getting messier by the day. I decided on talking to Henry about it, but when I met him a few days later, he had something waiting for me. I'm leaving for Korea. You are coming. What? No. Listen, Henry, I have to talk to you. Just think of it as this one last thing before you leave. I'll let you go as soon as we're back. He was nothing but a pain in my butt, and I should be happy this was finally getting over with. Only I wasn't. If anything, it broke my heart. We flew the next day early in the morning in Henry's private jet, and he took me to a house in the city. I entered to see an old lady lying on the bed, and she lit up when she saw him. Henry sat next to her holding her hand while I watched him from a distance. He looked so tender, and it made me fall for him even more. When I found him alone, I asked him who she was. My grandmother. I lost my dad when I was a kid, and she's all I have. What about your stepdad and Noah? They're my mom's family, not mine. He looked so vulnerable, and I don't know why, but I felt like hugging him. I know how you feel. My granddad is my only family too. Looks like we have more in common than we thought. He placed his hands on mine, and I suddenly felt so close to him. I was in love. I knew it. When we flew back that night, I wanted to confess my feelings for Henry, but just as we got there, we were welcomed by Noah, Mr. Hampton, and a house full of guests. Everyone, meet Rose, the reason why we're celebrating tonight. What do you mean? While you were busy falling in love, I got the deal signed, and we are gonna demolish that precious planetarium of yours. But that's not fair. Too bad. Life's not fair. Like it wasn't fair to me when he came over and took everything that was mine. Just when I thought you couldn't stoop any lower, my mind went spinning in 1,000 directions, and suddenly I slapped Noah hard on his face. You are a horrible person, and I'm ashamed I ever called you my friend. I ran out of that place feeling crushed. But I had no time to sulk. Pops, I, and a few other people collected as much money as possible to hire a lawyer to file a motion. A few weeks later, Pops came to me with shocking news. I just got a call that the Hamptons are ready to give the planetarium back, along with $1 million. What? That's amazing. But how? He handed me an anonymous letter that had all the details about exactly what had happened and how Noah had manipulated the situation. It was easy to guess who it was when I saw the handwriting. Henry. I called his office and his assistant told me that he'd left for Korea a week back. I'd lost him. When Pop saw me sulking later that night, he walked over and I told him everything. Go. Tell him how you feel. I hugged him and left for the airport. I reached Henry's grandmother's house and found him sitting on a bench in the grass. This view is so much better than your fancy office. Rose, what are you doing here? I got your letter. I just wanted to say thank you. You came all this way to say thank you? That's not wise. Wait, you're weird, stubborn, and a complete jerk. Are you trying to insult me? No, idiot. I'm trying to say I love you. I love you too.
Wow. Wow, that is awesome. She came back for him. Yeah, this is how it
Purina
is.
Cat Chow, the #1 dry cat food in America.
That happens to me a lot too because every time I do, I always put in 5 girlfriends each time. So I do this too. I do put in 5 girlfriends, but she put in 5 boyfriends. So I think me and her got the same place. So let's watch our last video. Our last video. My crush loves me while she sleep. This is like a weird video. Let's watch it.
Hi, I'm Jisha from India. Please like and subscribe. I lived in a small fishing town with my adoring parents. My dad was a sailor and my mom was a homemaker.
Wow.
But when I was 10, our world suddenly came crashing down when we got the news that Dad's ship had been caught in a storm and he was missing.
Dang.
We waited for months to get good news, but none came. Mom needed a job, so we moved to another town where she started working as a housekeeper in a rich household. We were given a small room in the mansion. On our first day, I wandered into the huge gardens when suddenly I heard a loud scream. Help me! I'm gonna fall and crack my butt! I saw a pair of legs dangling from a tree. I spotted a small trampoline and pushed it under the tree. And seconds later, a girl my age fell on it. Whoa! Did you put this here? Yeah, I didn't want you to crack your butt. I mean, we all have cracked butts, but I didn't want you to crack it more. We both burst out laughing, and just then, Mrs. Chopra, the owner of the mansion, walked out. Mom, this girl just saved my life. I was about to fall from the tree and she... How many times have I told you not to climb trees, Pooja? Anyway, thank you, Jisha. Hopefully my daughter can learn to behave more responsibly from you. Now come on, go play inside. Come, Jisha. I'll show you my latest Barbie collection. Pooja's room was super pretty and had a huge cupboard full of collectible Barbies.
Wow.
We played for hours, and when I was leaving, Pooja shoved the prettiest Barbie into my hands. You can take this. What? No, it's yours. Yes, but now I want you to have it. I thanked Pooja and walked away happily. That evening after dinner, I was playing with my Barbie when Pooja and her mom marched in. Mom, look! Didn't I tell you Jisha stole my Barbie? What? I saw suddenly felt guilty of something I hadn't even done. But, ma'am, she gave me this Barbie. She said it was a gift. Are you saying I'm lying? I would remember if I gave that doll to you. Stop crying, Pooja. Jisha did save you today, so think of it as a gift, okay? If you say so, Mom. You know how much I like sharing my stuff. Mrs. Chopra left, and suddenly Pooja turned towards me with a smug smile. Why did you lie? 'Cause I didn't like it when Mom said you were more responsible than me? Gosh, this girl was crazy. But I had to put up with her because of our situation. Mrs. Chopra was a nice woman who treated Mom and me kindly. One day, I was reading my science encyclopedia in the kitchen when she walked in. She started asking me a few questions, and I answered them all correctly. This impressed Mrs. Chopra so much that she got me enrolled into Pooja's school. I was thrilled. That year, I studied my butt off and got straight A's. I even bagged first prize for my science project, which was to be displayed in our school's annual day function. I'm very proud of you, Jisha. Oh, this reminds me. I've been invited to a science fair. Would you like to attend it too? That sounds amazing! But Mom, you promised to take me to the movie. 1 in 7 children does not have enough food to lead a healthy and active life. That sounds amazing! But Mom, you promised to take me to the movies. That can wait, honey. You can join Jisha and me if you wish. I'd rather lick a doggy's butt. Besides, I'm a Jerk is my favorite movie, and I want to watch it today. But Mrs. Chopra ignored her, and we both went to the fair, where we had tons of fun. I had no idea Mrs. Chopra was a bit of a science geek like me. When we got home that day, I was shocked to find my project smashed to pieces. I knew it was Pooja, but she blamed their pet cat for it. Thankfully, Mrs. Chopra helped me build it from scratch. And over the summer vacations, she took me to science museums all over the city, which didn't sit well with Pooja. One day, I was baking some brownies when I heard her yelling. I turned off the oven and went to her room to find chocolate smeared all over the furniture. Clean this right now. My friends are coming over in a couple of hours. How is there chocolate everywhere? Less talking, more working. Chop, chop. Pooja left and I got busy cleaning the mess when suddenly I heard screams from the kitchen. I rushed to find the oven on fire, and it was spreading fast. Mom, Jisha did this. I saw her baking something, but I remember turning the oven off. Apparently not. Looks like you're trying to get us all killed. Thankfully, the fire brigade arrived in time, but the whole kitchen was destroyed. Mom couldn't stop apologizing to Mrs. Chopra for what happened, and I got such a scolding. That evening, I was sulking in the garden when Pooja walked up to me. This is what you get for trying to act too smart in front of Mom. So it was you. I was sure I'd turned off the oven. Yeah, but you can't prove it. Are you insane? The fire could have spread. Someone could have gotten hurt. As if I care. This girl was a psycho. Years passed, and in 12th grade, I started getting a lot of attention from boys, but I was only focused on my studies. Pooja, on the other hand, was dating a politician's son, who was the biggest bully in school. One day, I was walking back home with groceries when suddenly a car whizzed past me so closely that I fell down. You butthead, watch where you're going. The car stopped and a well-dressed guy stepped out. Are you hurt? Here, take this money and get yourself checked in a hospital. I took the money from him and threw it right in his face. You can keep your money. Learn some manners instead. The guy muttered something that sounded like ungrateful brat and just left in his car. What a jerk. But moments later, I was shocked to see the same guy parked at the mansion, and Mrs. Chopra was hugging the jerk guy. That's when I got to know he was Arjun, Mrs. Chopra's son, who'd gone abroad for studies. She looked extremely happy to have him back, and I didn't want to create any drama, so I just avoided Arjun. Then one day, I went to Pooja's room to hand over her laundry when someone walked out of the bathroom. It was Arjun, in a towel. He looked like a Greek god. I'm sorry. You? What are you doing here? Have you been stalking me? Who do you think you are, Tom Cruise? You've got some nerve talking to me like that standing in my house. Well, Mr. Snob, I live here too. And that's when I told him who I was and left. Later that night, I was helping Mom in the kitchen when Arjun walked in. He thanked Mom for the meal and said it was the best biryani he'd ever had. I was surprised to see him being so nice, and Mom was blushing like a teenager. Oh, what a well-behaved boy. There aren't many kids like him these days. Oh, please. He's a big a jerk as his sister. That weekend, Pooja threw a homecoming party for Arjun. I was serving drinks when suddenly I tripped on something and all the glasses came crashing down. Are you blind or stupid? Do you know how expensive these glasses were? They cost your mom's entire year's salary. I'm sorry, it was an accident. I immediately started cleaning the mess, but a piece of glass cut my finger. Ew! Get lost before your bloodstains are expensive marble floor. I could feel all eyes on me and I felt like crying. Suddenly, someone took my hand gently. Let me see. It's just a minor cut. Come on, I'll put a Band-Aid on it. Arjun led me to his room and he carefully bandaged my wound. Does it hurt? Not as much as your sister's words. I apologize on her behalf. She's a little, temperamental. Mental is more like it. Arjun laughed out loud, and for some reason, it made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Maybe he wasn't as bad as I thought. He was kind to all the staff members, and once I saw him chatting with Mom, wiping the dishes that she was washing. He'd also hang out with me often, and this made Pooja go crazy with rage. You witch, I know what you're up to. Stay away from my brother, or else. Or else what? It's not like I'm chasing him around or something. He prefers my company over yours. I can't help it. Pooja looked ready to kill, but I wasn't going to let her bully me for no reason. A few days later, I was coming back from school after our last exam when a car suddenly stopped by me. It was Arjun, and he offered me a ride home. But just a few minutes later, we got stuck in the worst traffic jam. I was so tired that I fell asleep, and when I woke up, we were already home. Good morning, sleepyhead. I'm sorry. You should be, after the way you've been snoring. It was louder than an airplane taking off. What? I don't snore. You do. And you sleep with your mouth open. No, I don't. I have proof. He took out his phone and showed a terrible picture of me. Delete that, right now. I was trying to snatch the phone from him when suddenly my hair got entangled in his shirt's button. Our faces were so close that I could hear his heartbeat. Arjun carefully freed my hair. There you go. And don't worry, I'll delete it, even though you look super cute in this picture. I mumbled an awkward thank you and rushed inside. Was Arjun flirting with me? A few days later, he asked me out, and I couldn't refuse because I was already crushing on him. We snuck out at 4 a.m., and he took me to his secret spot where we watched the most magical sunrise. Then he kissed me, and it was like a dream. That evening, I made dinner for everyone since Mom had gone to the farmer's market. But when she didn't return after hours, I started getting worried. Just then, Pooja barged into my room. Waiting for your mom, huh? Wonder when she'll be back. Suddenly, I felt fear in my stomach. What are you up to, Pooja? Where's my mom? Now you know what it feels like when someone tries to snatch away the people you love. First, you cast your spell on Mom, and now Arjun. What are you saying? I'm gonna tell Mrs. Chopra about this. If you walk out of this room, you'll never see your mom again. Please, Pooja, I'll do whatever you say. Just don't hurt Mom. Then pack your bags and leave. Your mom will be here in 10 minutes. And don't you dare tell anyone about this, or I swear you'll regret it. The madness in Pooja's eyes scared me.
At Domino's, you can get 2 medium fried pizzas delivered for $6.99 each, as well as lava cakes, bread bites, and more.
I'll slap her. That's what I would do.
Make your first credit card or card
That's what I would do. But she don't scare me.
Install the Chime app today and get started.
You'll regret it. The madness in Pooja's eyes scared me. I started throwing our things in our bags, and sure enough, Mom was back soon. But there were bruises on her legs. Oh my God, Mom, what happened? Oh, I was coming back from the market when a biker crashed into me. Thankfully, Pooja's boyfriend was there to help me. He even took me to the hospital, God bless him. Save your blessings for someone else. He was probably the one who hired that biker. I told Mom everything, and she said we had to speak to Mrs. Chopra. Mom, we have no proof. And Pooja is her daughter after all. She won't believe these things about her. No, the only thing we can do is leave. I can't risk you getting hurt. We left the mansion that night without telling anyone. We moved to a big city in another state where Mom started working as a seamstress, and I took up a babysitting job. Based on my high school results, I got into a good medical university and poured my heart into my studies to become a doctor. 5 years later, I was working as an intern at a hospital when an emergency patient got admitted. It was Pooja, and she looked heavily pregnant. Minutes later, she gave birth to a healthy baby girl, but when she saw me, she looked stunned and burst into tears. Jisha, I'm so sorry. I guess I got what I deserved. I tried to ruin your life, and today, my life's a mess. And then she told me how she'd run away from home with her boyfriend, who got her pregnant and then dumped her. I've been living in a homeless shelter for the past 6 months. I'm too ashamed to go back home. Shh, everything will be okay. I'll talk to Mrs. Chopra. I'm sure she'll forgive her daughter. You don't understand. She's not my birth mom. I was her maid's daughter.
What?
My own mom ran away with a guy, leaving me behind.
Wow.
So Mom adopted me. That's why I felt so insecure around you. You were smarter, prettier. I feared Mom would start loving you more, and then she'd abandon me too. I was shocked to hear that. Pooja's blood pressure started going up, so I gave her an injection to relax. As Pooja slept, I called Mrs. Chopra. In a few hours, she was at the hospital with Arjun. He looked as handsome as ever. Mrs. Chopra teared up as I showed her the baby. Just then, Pooja started waking up, and I decided to leave the family alone for a while. A few hours later, I came to check Pooja's vitals and left. As I was about to enter another patient's room, someone grabbed my hand. Thank you for everything. It's all right. After you left, I was about to call the police when Pooja told us everything. I was furious at her. I tried looking for you, but you changed numbers, and no one knew where you'd gone. I got really scared. After Dad, Mom was all I had left, and I couldn't let anything happen to her. I understand. Are you, dating anyone? No. Are you? No. There was an awkward silence. Okay then. How about we start where we left off? And where was that? Let me remind you.
A kiss, wow. It just ends.
From one original to another, be your own wave. Sunchips.
There's no way. Wow, there's no way he did that for her. Wow, that was bad. I did not know he was going to do that to her, but that's just really easy to take her down. So, I want to make this video again though, but I love their videos, but I'm going to end it right here. Join the Keeper Squad. Love you. Bye bye.